What's up, and welcome to another edition of the Morning Lifter podcast, hosted by two smart men who love dumbbells. We cover all things strength and leadership. This is a special edition interview episode. Sean, what is up? Got you guys. Sean's not here. He is pulling dad duty at his son's birthday party. Just wanted to log on quick and introduce an interview that we have coming up with Jaycee Affeldt, who is a former member of the Canadian women's national softball team, and then went on to play Division I at Troy University in Alabama, coached a little bit, and now is a competitive CrossFit athlete. So really cool interview. We got about an hour in. She was awesome, gave me a bunch of her time. So without further ado, I will catch you guys on the other side of that. So enjoy. Okay, sorry, I lied. One more thing. Just want to highlight the fact that this was a phone call. It happened across 2 different countries and about 4 different time zones. So I cleaned the audio quality up as best as I could to take out like some of the pinginess of it. Hang in there. I am by no means a professional audio engineer or podcast producer. Just do my best. I think it sounds pretty good. Excellent content at the very least. So without further ado, a second time, Jaycee Affeldt. All right, so now we have Jaycee Affeldt. Jaycee, thanks so much for coming on today. How are you doing?
Hey Bryce, I'm great. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're following along on social media, and you saw that you kind of fit the Morning Lifter vibe and wanted to connect and reach out. And after chatting with you offline a little bit, saw that you had like a really cool story that Sean and I wanted to share. So for the listeners at home, why don't you just go ahead and get started? Obviously, softball background, now into CrossFit, but why don't you go ahead and tell the listeners who you are and why we think you're a great candidate for Morning Lifter?
Yeah, so I kind of started off playing softball ever since I can remember. I was probably like 3 or 4, just throwing the ball around. And I played throughout, all elementary school, all of high school on the travel softball team, and got to go to some pretty cool places, like across Canada and across the U.S. And I ended up playing for the U16 Canadian national team, and we got to compete in Prague, Czech Republic. And then I also played for the Canadian junior national team, and we competed at Worlds in South Africa, Cape Town actually, which was really, really awesome. So softball takes me to some really cool places just growing up and, getting to see some of the world through sports. And I played softball in college. I played at Troy University in a very small town called Troy, actually, in Alabama.
And that's the Fun Belt, right? The Sun Belt Conference?
Yes, the Fun Belt. Yep. It was a really, really awesome experience just getting to travel around and play Division I softball, the highest level that, I can ask for. And it was, I met some of my closest friends that way and just got to compete on an everyday basis. And I was fortunate enough to play there for 4 years, and then I actually went and started my master's at another school where I was coaching. I was the pitching coach at the University of Alabama in Huntsville. And then I, luckily enough, got offered the job to be the pitching coach back at Troy at my alma mater. So I coached there for 2 years, coaching the pitchers, and it was a blessing. It was pretty awesome to be able to coach where I played at. And now I am just, I moved back home to Canada. I'm originally from Vancouver, and I have been competing at CrossFit recently. So I kind of dabbled in it, while I was living in Troy, but nothing too serious. And then I decided when I moved home that's kind of something that I wanted to pursue a little bit more. And I did one random competition, with a partner, and it was just kind of for funsies. And then I did a individual competition and really kind of caught the bug for it and really decided that's kind of something that I wanted to do a little bit more and compete a little bit more on a stage, not necessarily just compete at regular CrossFit classes. But that's kind of where I'm at now, just hoping, possibly to do another competition in March, but if not, sometime maybe later in September.
That is awesome. So I've got some questions on the CrossFit aspect, but before we get into that, how big of a jump was it playing softball, going from national team playing in the Czech Republic and South Africa to then playing, Division I? Like, what was the talent like on that? Was it a little bit different? Was the atmosphere different?
Yeah, so when I played on the junior national team, I competed in South Africa in December of my freshman year in college. So I had already been in college for a semester. We played our fall season, and then I met up with my Canadian teammates in South Africa, and it was different because on the international stage, there's some countries that aren't quite as they haven't played softball for quite as long as
they're not as competitive, right?
States.
Yeah,
absolutely right. So it differs with talent level, so depending on which country you're playing. But then when I jumped back into college, I was playing against some of the people that I had played against, who played for Team USA and were, now also back in college like I was. So it was different because you learn, you go from growing up on your travel ball team to being the star of your team essentially, and then going and being with a bunch of other stars, and you just learn to play a role, and you learn to know, how you can contribute, and just to always be ready, I guess. And that's kind of the same thing. It set me up nicely for college because it was the same thing. A bunch of stars on your travel ball team go together and work together on a college team. So it was a bit of a transition that way. So that was kind of nice.
Yeah, you go from being a really big fish in a small pond to being a big fish amongst a sea of big fish. I'm sure it could come as a little bit of a culture shock, but it sounds like you handled the transition really, really well. So to CrossFit now, so what does a typical week of training look like for a competitive CrossFit athlete such as yourself? Is that 5 days a week, 6 days a week? Is that 2 times a day, 3 times a day? You see these stars online that are like the Matt Fraser and Rich Fronings of the world who are working out, 5 and 6 hours a day. And is that you, or are you a step down from that, or where are you at?
No, that is definitely not me. Those guys that is their job. How cool would it be to be a professional CrossFit athlete? But nope, not me. When I was training for the last competition that I did at the end of November, it would just be, I would go Monday through Friday, which would be typical CrossFit classes. So Monday would be more of an Olympic lifting day. Tuesday was slightly more skill work and a little bit more cardio. And then Wednesday, again, Olympic lifting type feel. Thursday, again, a little bit more recovery, more focus on some type of skill. And then Friday, again, Olympic lifting type thing with a little bit more endurance training. And then Saturday, we always do partner WOD. So that's just kind of like a fun thing to just go at with, one of your friends in the gym, and you just tackle a workout, have a day with it. And then Sunday was a complete rest day for me. So I think it's really important to have rest, and Sunday would be just a total chill out day. Just hang out at home and I guess think about the gym the next day.
Wonder if the gym misses you back, right?
Right, I don't think it ever did.
So what made you gravitate towards CrossFit in the first place, being, from an athletics background?
Well, after I was done competing in college, I was kind of like, well, now what? I've gone to playing different sports my whole life, to always being competitive at something, and I couldn't just, sit there and compete with my roommate about who could brush their teeth the longest, because that was dumb. So I kind of decided that CrossFit was something different every day, and it's unlike anything that I had ever done. And I was kind of willing to be bad at something for a little while in order to just try something new. So I decided that I wanted to do CrossFit because it would give me a way to be competitive at something again. So instead of just working out at the gym on my own, which I still do really like to do, and just running, I decided I wanted to, try out a CrossFit class. Just kind of, you compete against the time, and you compete against some of the people that are in the class just to push each other and everything. So I found that as be my new competitive outlet now that I didn't have that with college softball being over.
Okay, and do they not have beer league softball up in Canada? Because you could always just compete at that.
Yeah, I could, and I did that one time, but I also took it a little too seriously and slid, and they didn't really like that.
Nope. No sliding, no bang plays. Those are the rules.
No breaking up any double plays. They don't like that either.
Okay. So what's your favorite CrossFit movement, or do you have a favorite workout? For those that don't know, CrossFit has a list of pre-programmed workouts that are all ladies' names. So there's like Cindy, Amanda, stuff like that. So do you have a particular favorite, or maybe just a general movement that you like the most?
I don't really have a favorite workout yet. I haven't really done all of the benchmark workouts. Like I said, I've only really been taking it serious since July, and I do enjoy clean and jerks. Those are some of my favorites, and whenever they're in a workout, it's always fun. Cleans are super technical, and we've been working on our relationship for a while, and there's still trust issues, but it's getting better. But it is my favorite to try and work on for sure. Squats are also some of my favorites. Just any back squats, overhead squats, I enjoy those. Can't say I'm a fan of burpees or thrusters, so.
Yeah, burpees and I don't get along either, so it's all good.
Anybody that says they're a fan of burpees is lying. So.
Yeah, it's interesting to hear you mention that the clean and jerk's your favorite movement, though, because on a previous episode, Sean and I answered a DM question about if you could only do one movement for the rest of your life, what would it be? And he and I, after some back and forth, finally settled on the clean and jerk because of it's really like 4 or 5 different movements in one. So it's interesting to hear you say it, and I'm sure there's some pretty good carryover from having a good clean and jerk into having good other movements as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it targets pretty much every part of your body, and it's definitely good for core strength as well. And just, especially being a pitcher in college, my overhead strength really wasn't that good. And it's been something that I've been trying to focus on now because we really didn't do anything overhead when we were, just doing our general lifting in college. So for me to be able to, kind of increase my numbers overhead is just like, it's just a really good feeling personally. And it only makes other movements stronger for sure.
That's awesome. So do you have any PRs you want to share with us on any of the major lifts?
My split jerk was 140 a couple weeks ago, so that was pretty exciting because I never thought I was able to lift more than 100 pounds over my head. So I was pretty proud of that.
That's awesome. Congrats.
Thank you.
So why would you not recommend CrossFit to somebody as a beginner? Maybe, I'm sure it varies with different levels of ability going into it, but would you recommend it overall? Would you tell people to steer away from it, and why or why not?
Well, it's funny that you asked me that because recently I just got my mom into CrossFit. So she started in September, and I recommend CrossFit to pretty much everyone because it's acceptable for any type of fitness ability. So no matter where you are, whether you've never lifted a weight in your life, like my mom, whether you're an endurance runner or, you just do your own kind of thing at the gym, no matter what, there is always a scale for every person. So you can be at the very bottom starting up and learning new movements, or you could be one of the fittest people and there's still something new or a new movement that you can learn. And it's very much go at your own pace. So with that being said, we have workouts that are called like AMRAPs, or as many rounds and reps as possible. And that's just go at your own pace. So, you pick your own weight, and if you're not feeling it at that day, you can always scale down the weight, or you can always challenge yourself and go a little heavier. So it's very much tailored to any type of fitness level. And that's why I like it the most, because my mom had never really, like I said, she's never lifted a weight in her life, and she hasn't really been doing a lot of endurance or cardio, much of anything. And she's been able to find scales to do for things, and she's also found herself getting stronger because she's able to do, like different versions of different movements and put more weight on the bar as well.
That's awesome. Shouts to your mom. But really great point in that it's so maneuverable, basically, with the scaling and the different options and things like that. Overall, it is a very good option for individuals who want to get a higher level of fitness overall in general. Okay,
for sure.
So if you could have lunch and a workout, this is also a question that Sean and I got via DM that I thought was really good that I wanted to ask somebody else. If you could have lunch and a workout with any fitness influencer, athlete, or personality, who would it be and why?
Well, right now, I would probably have to say Catherine Davidsdottir, because I read her book with Ben Bergeron called Teaching Excellence, and it was one of my favorites.
That book is awesome.
Yes, it is amazing. And a lot of the things that she talks about in that book kind of really resonated with me and helped me get through workouts. And it talks about the process over results, and I absolutely love that, because I'm also a really big John Wooden fan, and he's all about the process. But I just think that Catherine's really just a humble athlete, and just seems like a generally sweet person. And I mean, she's just a total CrossFit badass. So it would be interesting to pick her brain for somebody that really is a professional in the sport. And just just some of the things, like I said, that she says in the book has helped me get through some difficult times of workouts. And I think that it would be really cool to learn, how she grew from being kind of, an immature athlete when she was younger to being more mature, getting more experience, but also, still remaining very humble throughout the whole process.
Yeah, Chasing Excellence is an incredible book. I read that one as well, by Ben Bergeron, and her excerpt in it about the rope climbs at, I think it was the 2015 games, where she had
That's my favorite part.
Yeah, she literally never completed a rope climb, and there they are in the CrossFit Games, and she's going through her mind about how she's going to accomplish it, because the athletes only find out what the workout is 15-20 minutes before they have to go out and do it in front of thousands of people. So that it's a really great part. I don't remember what chapter that's in, but overall great book, and Katrin seems like a really, really awesome person as well. So great choice. So with all the training that you do, that you outline in your schedule, how do you fuel yourself for performance? What's your diet look like? How about some of your favorite fruits and vegetables? Anything specific that sticks out, or you just kind of eat it all?
I'm a really big fan of rice and cauliflower, because I think you can pretty much do anything with it. I honestly like all fruits and vegetables, and I never would have said that a couple years ago, because when I first started RP, it gave you an option for 1 to 2 cups of green veggies with every meal, and I'm pretty sure for the first 3 months I only ate cucumbers because I hated every other veggie. But now I try and make, I'm queen of a massive salad, so I try and make it as colorful as possible. I love carrots, broccoli, corn, onions, which is something I absolutely detested onions when I was younger, and now I love them. So I'm not really sure what's happening to me. I think RP has changed me greatly. But yeah, I'm just a really big fan of kind of spicing it up in different ways, and I think veggies are a really good way to kind of change up your diet and not make it too monotonous.
Looking back, do you think your diet affected your athletic performance when you were in college pitching?
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. So when I was a freshman and sophomore in college, more so freshman, I kind of, I moved away from home, didn't really know how to eat, didn't really have that, idea of, okay, like this is going to, feel my performance, this is probably going to make me sluggish. So that year was interesting. But as I got older, it was more so like I focused more on protein, not to the extent that I don't have the extensive knowledge that I have now, but it got better with just, eating better before practices, knowing that I needed to have something to sustain me through 4-hour practices. And then I actually started working with a sports psychologist who is also a registered dietitian in the end of my sophomore year and then also at my junior and senior year. And he really helped me with that as well, like just knowing kind of like what things needed to be eaten before a game and whatnot, and trying not to change things up too much because you don't want to shock your body before a game. Yeah, so that was really helpful. But again, still not the same kind of knowledge that I have now. Like you were talking about with the macronutrient timing, is knowing that you need to have protein and carbs more so around your workout rather than fat, because that's the slowest metabolizing macro, and you don't really need that.
Yeah, it's looking back, it's kind of amazing too how, like, you wish you would have known all this stuff 5 years ago, but not quite the case somehow.
I would have been a much better athlete because of it, that's for sure. Especially, just being a pitcher with, having to have some stamina, at least a little bit of stamina anyways. It would have definitely made me a better athlete.
Oh well, if ifs and buts were candy and nuts, it'd be Christmas every day, right? So
that's right.
So with all the CrossFit work and with some workouts being more challenging than others, how do you execute a big lift when you're feeling tired, or maybe you're dragging a little bit, or you just don't quite have that it factor on that specific day? So how do you make that possible? How do you bring that out of yourself?
Well, I'm not exactly the kindest to myself in my brain. I probably yell at myself. But I always remind myself that I have more in me than I think I do. And I learned that from my coach my senior year when we would be going fishing and it would be really hot on the turf, and we had done 20 sprints and we had probably 20 more to go. And she would look at us and say, "You have more in you than you think." And that always resonated to me because even though I thought I might have been dying at sprint 20, I was still alive at sprint 40. And so just knowing that even though I feel like I'm dead, dog tired during a workout, I try and convince myself that I haven't done anything yet and that I have more in me than I think I do.
Telling yourself you haven't done anything yet, like it's not even hard yet, that's really, really cool. Yeah, it sounds like your coach took a play out of the United States Marine Corps with the 40% rule. If you feel like you're at your breaking point, you're really only at about 40% of your capacity, is something they always say. So that's really, really awesome. I think a lot of people can learn from that and kind of take that with them for sure. So you're obviously, super, super accomplished athlete, athletic career, national team, Division I, etc. At what point did you kind of know, like, okay, I'm a little bit better than everybody else on my team? And then what made you want to use that to become even better than the best person on your team, instead of maybe just sitting back and kind of like riding on your talent versus putting in work to, become something special? Like, at what age did that take place?
Ooh, I don't know. That's a tough question because I've never really seen it like that so much. I always just I've always been somebody that demanded a lot of myself, and it wasn't really about noticing if I was better than anybody else. It was more so just, being able to go to bed at night and say I did everything that I could to be as good as I can be, if that makes sense. I just knew that, once I got out of high school and I got into playing in college, that a lot of people, the talent level is very much the same. And so it comes down to how much work you're willing to put in outside and how much work you're willing to put into your mindset. And it's during the off season that's really going to make the difference, because the skill level is the same. I knew that I needed to work as hard as I could, outside of practice in order to give myself a little bit of an edge over the people that had the same amount of skill level as I did. And that came from, again, working with a sports psychologist, because, he essentially changed my life, not only just my athletic career, but my life for the better. And also just when I would go home over the summer and over Christmas, just putting in work that, if I woke up in the morning and I went and did something, and somebody else did something too, well, then that's great. But then if I woke up every day and did that, what are the chances that other people are doing the same thing? Like, are they working as hard as I am? Are they, doing something every day? Because I know that if I just woke up and didn't do something that day, then somebody out there is getting better than I am. And I didn't like that. And I always knew, again, I wanted to pass the pillow test at the end of the day, whereas I could put my head on my pillow and say I did everything to be a great athlete, a great daughter, a great friend today.
Wow. Yeah, I love that. I think the mentality and the mindset thing, like you said, about going in and putting the work in and day out, it's more than just checking the box, right? Like, you can go in and slack through a workout and check the box and say, oh, it's all good, like I went and I got a workout in, but only you really know if you put in the effort that will in turn make you better in the end, right? So I think it's really cool that you hit on that. And quite honestly, now I might have to go to the gym when we're done recording, because I feel like I'm ready to run through a brick wall. That was awesome.
I love that.
So you in your athletic career, was there ever a setback or a time where you had to overcome an obstacle? If there was, then how did you go about doing that? Like, was there a specific strategy that you were able to use? Maybe something that your sports psychologist talked to you about, or maybe a coach or something?
For sure. And there actually came a time in my career where I had to kind of sit down and give myself an ultimatum that it was either you fix this and you make a decision, or you're just going to have to quit softball, honestly. And we talked about the transition between, going from being a big fish in a small pond to a big-ish fish in a really big pond. And that wasn't easy for me in any way. My freshman year, I struggled. I struggled being a role player, and I put a lot of pressure on myself to be what they expected to be the best, and it didn't turn out that way, because the pressure that I put on myself really just set me back really far. And so I went through my whole freshman year. It just honestly just hell. It was hell. And then I went home over summer and I played softball, back with my softball team, and I loved it. I started my sophomore year, and so that's when it kind of came down to the point in, I would say probably March, when I was like, either figure it out, and you admit that there's something going on between your ears, or it's going to have to be time to quit softball because it's not worth it anymore. So that's when I did start seeing my sports psychologist, and then this is why I love having Dave started so much, is because we focus more on the process than on the result. And
slowly went from having a lot of negative self-talk in my brain to having more neutral talk, nothing really going on in my brain, to flipping the switch to having positive self-talk. And that just made me not only a better player, like, you know, it's my process was better, and then my results were also better, but it made me a better teammate, a better friend, a better person, a better student. And I would say that was probably my biggest setback, but then it ended up turning into a really good thing, because it made me realize, like, the sport really is more mental than it is physical anyways, now at this point anyways. So it was a tough time, but then it ended up, you know, it ended up revealing a lot of character, and just, I think it made me a much better coach in the long run, because I had been there, I had been at the lowest of lows, and I was able to help my pitchers who maybe were struggling with the same thing when they came to college, just kind of be able to help them along the way as well.
Wow, yeah, sounds like that was a really tough time in your life. I'm really glad you got through it, both for your career's sake and, you know, for sounds like it really impacted your life outside of softball as well. So, yeah, it's crazy what difference can make, like a little mental adjustment. You know, you hear it all the time that professional athletes, like the difference between an all-star and a bench player is rarely talent, you know, unless you're Mike Trout. Obviously, the dude's insane. But, you know, it's rarely talent. It's, you know, a lot of what's going on, like you said, between the years. So I'm really glad that you were able to use that. And now, you know, like you said, with coaching, too, pass it on to the next generation. So that's really, really good. So you clearly have an insane workout schedule. You're a hell of an athlete. What's a rest day look like for you? How do you like to spend your off days? You said it was Sunday, right?
Yes, tomorrow is going to be a rest day, and I am pretty excited about it because my upper body's still a little bit sore right now. But tomorrow, on Sundays, I really just like to sleep until I wake up. Don't set an alarm. That's probably the biggest treat of the day, honestly. I am a huge coffee fan, so I'll probably have like 3 cups of coffee in the morning because it's just the best way to start the day. And then sometimes on Sundays I'll go to church, depending on what else I have planned for the day. But Sundays are usually like my day to go and visit my grandma. So having lived, you know, for 8 years in Alabama away from my family, I only ever got to come home during Christmas and a little bit during the summertime. And so now that I've moved back for good since July, I try and see my grandma as much as possible because she's only about a 15-minute drive from my house. So going to see her is just, you know, it makes my day. And having been away for 8 years, I wasn't able to see her that much. So I'm just kind of trying to make up for lost time with that. But I don't know, when it's sunny out, it's been raining here a lot recently, but when it's sunny out, I try and maybe go for a nice little hike or a nice little walk outside. So I've got some vitamin D from sun, hang out with my friends. I'm lucky enough to have friends that have kind of stuck by me while I've lived, you know, 45 hours away from them for the past 8 years. So I have some good ones, and I get to hang out with them. We usually go again for a nice little walk or for coffee or something like that after I'm fully caffeinated from the morning already. But
yeah, your tolerance must be through the roof with that, huh? 3 cups in the morning and another cup later in the day. Jeez.
Oh, I know. It makes for sleeping on Sunday night that much more fun. No, it's all good. But yeah, just kind of meal prep a little bit too, or try and get my life in order for the week to come. But it's just kind of a day to rest and relax and spend time with my loved ones.
So you mentioned hiking, walking around. So you're in the camp of it's better to get up and move around and, you know, get the blood flowing and stuff like that on your off days as opposed to just sitting around on the couch all day?
Yes, for sure. I'm not somebody that really likes to sit still for too long anyways, so even on rest days, even when I was preparing for my competition, my coach would get mad at me because the day before the competition, he's like, what are you doing here? Like, why are you at the gym right now? And I'm like, well, I need to move. I need to do something. I'm just going to walk on the treadmill. And it's more so kind of getting around, like you said, just thing. And I find that if, on Mondays, that if I sit around and pretty much do nothing, that I'm actually more sore and more kind of awkward, more baby giraffe-like on my legs than if I were to have actually gotten up and, walked a little bit. So it definitely just kind of sets me in a good spot for the next week coming up.
Right, absolutely. That's awesome. So you mentioned meal prepping. Are you a meal prepper?
I am not so much now as I was when I was working in Troy, because I'm lucky enough now to work from home, so I have time to make my own meals kind of more so now during mealtime. But when I was coaching, I was very much a meal prepper, so that would take me sometimes, 2 or 3 meals to the office with me, because I would go and I would be in the office from 8 a.m. to sometimes 8 p.m. at night until after practice. Just always having healthy snacks and stuff on deck so that I never got hangry.
Yeah, what are some of your healthy snack options? Obviously, being an athlete, you spend a lot of time on buses and road trips and stuff like that. So what are some healthy snack recommendations you could give?
Oh yes, I'm the snack queen. I'm a really big fan of protein bars, so I really like Quest bars. There's a couple other ones that I can't remember it's called Grenade. That's the brand. Grenade is another really good one. I've personally heard that Costco brand Kirkland protein bars are good. I've never had them before, but I've heard that they're really good on macros. I'm a big beef jerky fan. Any kind of beef jerky, I've probably tried it. And then, when it comes down to, trying maybe not to snack as much, I like to use sugar-free Mentos gum, put a little bit of water flavoring in my water to spice it up, stuff like that. I'm trying to think of anything else. Cucumbers, I like to just chop those up and take them with me. Any kind of other random veggies, sometimes bell peppers as well, those are pretty good. And yeah, I'm also, again, I'm a caffeine kick. I like to drink Bang energy drinks. Those are some of my favorites.
What's your favorite flavor?
Ooh, that's just tough. Probably rosé. That's one of my favorites.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I know. It's my basic girl coming out. Or I don't mind the rainbow unicorn stuff. That also is pretty basic.
What's the one with it's like the bee is like an American flag. It's red, white, and blue. Is that rainbow unicorn?
That is Star Blast.
That is the worst flavor I've ever had in my entire life.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that one either. I won't lie to you. I don't like the lemon one either. That one hurts my stomach.
Have you had?
They have a champagne one that's really good. It tastes great.
Have you had
Give that one
I think it's called Reign. It's like a Bang knockoff. REIGN. So that's owned by Monster,
Reign?
actually. Yeah.
Yes, Reign. Fun fact, I actually like that a lot more than Bang.
Yeah, they're suing each other, by the way.
You can only get it in the U.S., and it's hard for me when I go down to the U.S., I stock up on cases of Reign because I do like it more than Bang, but we can't get Bang in Canada, so it's a little bit more accessible. But yeah, Reign's the goat for sure.
They're suing each other.
Oh man.
Bang is suing Reign for copyright infringement because all you have to do is look at their cans and realize they're the exact same. And Reign is suing Bang for false advertising on the amounts of the creatine and the CoQ10 and stuff that they put in their drinks. So, a recent study found that in order to get the amount of, I think it was CoQ10, which is like a neural enhancer that's in Bang, it's supposed to help you focus. In order to get the amount that they say is in a Bang, you'd have to drink enough Bang that the caffeine would kill you.
Oh, that's how it's flawed the plan. Yeah, oh man.
So I'm with you. Those things are so addicting.
I kind of believe that was a problem. I didn't really ever think there was enough creatine or anything in there to make it different. So I think I always kind of thought, or I always wondered if that was fake advertising or fake news, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. They still taste good, so.
Right.
So, as a meal prepper, you're taking stuff with you on the go to when you were coaching and everything like that. How important on a scale of 1 to 10 is like good quality Tupperware?
Oh, probably say at least a 7 or an 8 because there have been plenty of times where my Tupperware has exploded in the microwave and it just ruined my day.
Oh, yikes.
Or that or you drop it and the lid breaks. And then there you go. Now you have a bottom of your Tupperware and you don't have a lid anymore. Or, something breaks and you have a top and you don't have a bottom, and it's just a tragedy. And then your whole cupboard gets all out of whack, and no good, no bueno. So,
or if it comes off like in your bag or something, crazy.
Oh yeah, no, not a fan of that at all. Had plenty of bags around me.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
You'd think I would learn my lesson, and I eventually found a brand that I like, so that's good.
Yeah, that's good. So, what is your favorite gym stereotype that will always make you laugh? It can be CrossFit if you want, or if you work out at like a commercial gym sometimes too. Anything really.
Okay, probably my favorite for the CrossFit is actually I have 2 for CrossFit. People that have to film everything, like you either film it or you put it on Instagram or it didn't happen, or the people that have to chronically match each other when they do a partner workout for CrossFit. That's one of my favorite ones ever. Like I told somebody today, I was like, I don't know how y'all match every day because I can barely match myself on the best days. And yeah, that just blows my mind. At the gym, at the Globo gym, I would probably say, again, I think maybe I'm jealous about the whole matching thing, but the girls that wear matching like crop tops and matching leggings, I'm just like, no, I don't have my life in order well enough to match on the best of days, let alone have a total top and bottom matching set. And yeah, that's a funny one. Or, just your typical no days off bro at the gym who just, gives it 110% every day. That's another good one.
No off days. No, yes, there are off days. That's when the gains actually happen there, pal, right? Like,
right, it's called sleeping.
So, do you have a favorite book or something that's currently on your reading list that you're looking to get into that's not Chasing Excellence?
Well, another one, Catherine Davis' daughter actually recommended this one. I sound like I'm obsessed with her. But it's called...
There are worse people to be obsessed with, by the way. I mean, she's awesome. She's a great Instagram follow, too.
Yeah, that's right. She really is. But it's called Solve for Happy. It's on my reading list, and I actually just bought it off of Amazon. I haven't gotten into it yet, but I'm pretty excited to. It looks like a really good read, and if she likes it and she's all about it, then I think it's definitely something worth reading. So.
What was it called? Solve for Happy, like the equation?
Yep, Solve for Happy.
Oh, cool. I'll have to check that out. Sounds good. How about a favorite quote too to go along with that?
Favorite quote is "You're good is good enough," and that's something that my coach my senior year told me whenever I would try a little bit too hard. So, just knowing that whatever your good is good enough to get you through the day. You don't have to give 110% or you be somebody that you're not. Just being yourself is more than enough. And I think that can go towards anything in life, not just, fitness or whatever, but, just being a good daughter, a good wife, a good friend. Your good is good enough. You don't have to try and be something more than what you are.
I like that. Yeah, stay within yourself type deal. That's really cool. I have the last couple questions here about like coaching and leadership and stuff like that. So you have the hashtag winners win in your Instagram bio. Can you explain what that is, where it came from, and what it's about to the listeners?
Okay, so when I was a GA at the University of Alabama at Huntsville, I worked for a wonderful woman named Les Studeman, and she's just an absolute legend. She was one of the most hard-ass coaches that I never played for her, but I worked for her, and she was one of the most just hard-ass, expects a lot out of the people under her, but also like one of the most caring and loving people that I've ever met. And she always used to say, when things would get hard or, you know, it was a close game or whatnot, she would look at us, you know, her staff and her players and say, winners win. So it's either you make a decision that you're going to be a winner right now and find a way to do it, or you don't. And that was something that we would always say to each other, like, you know, if we were at a point in the season where, you know, it was starting to get hard or, you know, something happened, she would look at us and just say, winners win. And it kind of just would always flip the switch in my brain and be like, you know what, I'm going to decide to be a winner. I'm going to be a winner today. And I just thought that was just, it's just a simple phrase, but again, you can put it to anything in life. You just make a decision that if you're a winner, you're a win at whatever situation you're facing.
That is awesome. Sounds like a Bill Belichick saying almost.
Yeah, she's probably as hard-ass as Bill Belichick.
That's awesome. I love that. That is really cool. You were telling me that story offline. I think that's amazing. Winners win. Yeah. Simple. That's really, really cool. So, what is the best piece of like coaching or advice that you've ever gotten as a player or as a CrossFit athlete?
I would say definitely the whole "you're good is good enough" and pay attention to detail is another really good one. It's simple, but it was something that I guess was probably said to me more times than my coach would have liked to during my career, but she'd say, pay attention to detail, and that's just doing every little thing right, because eventually the little things add up to, you know, the big things. And I hate saying the term little things because everyone asks, well, what are the little things? And for us, like, the little things in softball were when we were conditioning, getting past the line, getting past the cone instead of just getting to the cone or a foot in front of the cone. You know, touching your skirt in the right way, introducing yourself to somebody, being the first person to introduce yourself to somebody, things like that. And, you know, making sure that you do everything excellently. You know, you can't do anything perfectly, but the more things that you do excellently, the closer you'll get to being perfect. And I think that was something that really stuck out to me, is just paying attention to detail at absolutely everything that I did, because then that just makes me excellent, and again, excellence leads to as close to perfection as humanly possible.
Wow, sounds like our coaches went to the same school, because I had a coach that used to tell me if you do something 99% correctly, it's still 100% wrong. Same kind of philosophy there. So that's really cool. It's that's true. There's no such thing as a little thing. Like, the devil's in the details, all that stuff totally reigns supreme. So that's really cool that that's, you know, something that's stuck with you all these years. So I have two more questions for you. I don't want to take up any more of your time. First is that, so you're still coaching now, right? So you have a travel team, right? What's your schedule look like with that? How's that fit in to, you know, all the training that you're doing for CrossFit?
Yeah, so I'm actually the head coach of a junior team, which has definitely been a bit of a transition for me. It's been really, really fun because I get to essentially teach these girls a lot more about the game that when I had athletes that came to me in college maybe knew a little bit more than they do. So it's kind of nice to kind of start from the foundations. But we practice twice a week right now because we're not in season. We'll start up in season in April, the beginning of April, because in Canada right now it's a little bit too cold to get outside and play. / a little bit too rainy and might snow at any time. But we will be, once season starts up, we'll play twice a week and then have tournaments on the weekends. And we're taking our kids to a couple showcase tournaments because that it's starting to get to the point in their athletic career where they're looking to, possibly get a scholarship if that's what they want to pursue. So we'll be, trying to show off our kids' talents as much as possible. But it doesn't really coincide too much with my training. I typically, like I said, train in the morning. So
you're a morning lifter.
Yes, always been a morning lifter, always will be.
Love to see it.
Yes. And, so it'll run throughout the summer until about our nationals are at the end of August. So that's when we'll finish up.
Nice. Wishing you the best of luck this season.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
I don't have any more questions. Do you have anything else that you want to share with the world?
No, I think I've given you guys my deepest, darkest secret. Thank you for listening to me.
Yeah, we really appreciate having you on. Sorry Sean couldn't, be on the call with me. He is pulling dad duty right now, so we talked about how our schedules get in the way, and this is a hobby for us, and he's got a family and 2 kids and stuff, so he's pulling dad duty, so you're stuck with me.
No, that's very important. And I really enjoy the content that you guys are putting out there. You're educating a lot of people on a lot of different things, so that's really awesome.
That's the goal. Where can the listeners find you on social media if they want to follow along your coaching and CrossFit journey? What's your Instagram? My Instagram is
Jaycee Affeldt with 2 Y's. Jayy Affeldt, AFFELDT. Hit me with the follow.
I'll put it in the episode description when this goes live. So
great, thanks.
If that's all, Jaycee, really appreciate you sitting down and talking with me for the last hour. I'll let you have fun the rest of the night. So we'll talk soon, and we're looking forward to following along your journey. And good luck this season, and good luck in CrossFit. And go kill it.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Bryce. I really appreciate you having me on the show.
Absolutely. See ya. So that was Jaycee Affeldt. Really cool interview. Appreciate her taking the time to sit down and chat with me. Again, I apologize for the audio quality. Phone calls are tough for obvious reasons. Did my best to try and clean it up and make it listenable for you guys. If anybody has any tips out there on audio engineering, please send them my way so we can get better for you guys and ultimately make a better product. Also, too, if you guys like those interview-style podcasts, please let us know. We will continue to do them. We, meet these people, come across these really cool people with great stories, and we just want to be able to share them. We built this platform to do that and to grow the strength and leadership community one step at a time. So we really appreciate you guys following along with those stories, and look forward to having the next one. The last piece that I have for you guys is that obviously without Sean on this episode, we will not be doing DM questions. We have quite a few in the bank for the next time that he and I sit down and record to run through. Unfortunately, we do not have a date set for that. Like I said, we try to get an episode out every 2 weeks or so. Life happens though, so I know the Arnold Classic is coming up in Ohio in March. That'll be a big episode. We're trying to figure out what we can do for that since Sean will be going. So stay tuned for more updates to come in that regard. With that, I'm going to go ahead and close this one out. Hope y'all keep it strong, keep it safe, be your best you, and most importantly, just be better. See ya.